Hi everyone, I'm Dawn. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here with my next video in the Kit Create Collab series. This series is using my So Lovely junk journal kit to create at least one full journal, if not more than one. There's a series of creators that'll all be linked down below. You can search the hashtag Kit Create Collab on anything that has hashtags, including Instagram and YouTube are what I'm using, but I know that there are some other creators that do use TikTok. So today I am working on my journals and I'm just going to jump right in. Last week I made my 3 journal covers. I have this one that I made with the big envelope. That's going to wrap around and close. I have this one that I made with the wallpaper and the red, white, and blue fabric. And then finally I have this big one here that I made by using the front of the sewing pattern that came. And I did the spine with the brown on the outside and the yellow fabric. And everything that I just showed came in the kit except this hardcover book. This was a book cover that I had from my stash. So I have 3 journals. These 2 are going to be about, like, they're going to fit in 8.5 by 11 paper. I have one here, so I'll show. I don't think I'll have to cut anything down to smaller than 8.5 by 11. Yeah, so that'll work for that journal. And that's the size that I'll use for that journal. And that'll work for that journal too. So it looks like I could even go to like a 9 if I wanted to with some papers. So the thing is going to be, the interesting thing is going to be this one, and I might have to extend some pages for this one. So today I want to sort out my pages. I want to grab like all my smaller pieces and put them in here so that they aren't getting in my way. I have the pieces from the sewing pattern. I do have this big piece of fabric. I'm going to save that for something else. I have this scrap of fabric. I'll put that away. I don't want to drop anything on the floor and then have to go find it. Okay, so I have my 3 journals. Just putting those to the side. And I have all my different kinds of pages here. Now for these, because they don't really have a spine, they're just folded. With this style, with the envelope, I'll probably do 20 pages, as in like 20 pieces of paper folded in half. And for this one, I'll probably do 15. I've made both of these styles a lot of times before, so I already know what what works for me with these. So that is how I've decided, just based on my experience. But you could do more or less in there. But I'll do 15 for this one and 15 or 20 for this one. This one, however, is going to have probably 2 thicker signatures. If you were watching my channel before this, you'll have seen me working on my extra large sewing journal. This one is smaller. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and a quarter by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a half. So it is smaller than the other journal I've been working on, but it is still larger. So I still might have to extend some pages. I'm taking the smaller pieces of sewing pattern and putting them to the side. And we're going to see where this takes us. I hope to have all my signatures like ready to go and laid out at the end of this video. And by that I just mean I'm setting them up, not that I will have them bound or anything. I'll still have to do sewing and like adding pockets and things. So I'm gonna just take pages that I feel like kind of obviously go with some journals, like if there's a bigger page or a page that's like goes more with this style of cover. So I'm going to lay out my 3 covers here. And I'm just going to start with the pieces of paper that came with the kit. Like, this is very large, so I think it makes the most sense for this one. I have a lot of regular size papers, and I have a lot of small pieces. I'm just going to slip the small pieces to the side, and I'll deal with them later. I might use them as tabs or to decorate. This green goes really well with this journal, so I'm going to put that one there. This one does feel like it's a little bigger, so I think I'll put it in this one. I have 2 of these here, and I think I want to put that one there and this one here. That's just kind of how I'm going to do it. If there's a page I'm not sure about, like this guy, I'm just going to set it to the side. I know I have a lot from that book as a printable, so I'll be able to print more of those if I want. I do have some scrapbook paper. Everything's kind of like mixed up in the kit, so I'm just trying not to drop anything like that. Got it. Maybe I should have sorted these before jumping on, but I didn't, so here we are. Okay, this paper is an extra wide piece of paper that I've dyed, so I'm going to put that there. And I'm just going to kind of sort through and see what I can find. Like this one, also an extra large paper, and this was from a composition book that I took the pages out of and dyed, and it is going to be maybe too big or just the right size, but I will have to reinforce the edge because it was sewn into the composition book at one point. I have some book pages. I have this, which I am not sure what I'll do with. It does go with the color of this journal, though. I do like that. Maybe I will just reinforce the fold there. Okay, move my glue. It's fun working with the kit because I can just kind of sort through and find pages that I think go in my kit already, and then I'll only have to add a few. That one's a little, these are a little tall. Well, just that one. So that one's a little bigger, but I won't have to do as much extending. This one's really pretty and has some blue in it, and this journal has the red, the white, and the blue, so that goes well. Put that one in that pile. Then I have like a bunch that are just kind of plain. So I'm going to go through and see what I think kind of obviously, in my opinion, coordinates with those journals. And then I'll go back for a second round. So this is nice and yellow, and this is a yellow journal. So I'm mostly sorting by color right now. Like these scrapbook papers are all neutral, but then this one's pretty green, so I'll put it in this pile. A lot of these are neutral, which was like the point when I put the kits together. You know, so that was the goal. And then I'll pull some colored papers and some coffee dye papers. Okay, so for this one, I only have 3 pieces. And I want... Alright. I have 3 from this, for this one. But they're all kind of plain. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 in this one. And then this one will need about twice as many pieces. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think I want 10 and 5 and 5 if I can get to there. So that's 4. That's 5. That's 7, I think. That makes that one 5. I don't want to... actually, I don't think I mind that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put those there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put those there. Just gonna grab a clip. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, that worked out perfectly. Put those in there. Okay, so now I have these. And then another thing I want to do is take this and see what I can do with this. Is that gonna be too big? I don't want to cut this down at all, so I want to see if I do a page that's that big, it will be a little bit too big, so I will probably make these, I don't want to make it too small, so I am going to do this, do that, and if I have to trim it, I'll trim it on this. Oh, you can't even see that. Okay, if I have to trim it down, because it is a little bit, once I get my measurement here, it looks like it might be a little big, so I'll just trim off the very edge, and that will be okay. So I'm doing 2 signatures in here, and I want each signature to have between 10 and 15 pages. I would like to take some of this pattern paper and turn this into some pages. I like using as much of a variety of types of papers in my journals as I can. This piece is just one huge piece. Oh, it's a skirt. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna put that one down. That one's huge. It's a big, it's like this, it's the pattern for this, and it's just one big piece. Which I guess I should have been expecting, because it's right there, but I was not expecting. Okay, sometimes, and this is actually, I love this. Sometimes I find that people who have these patterns have extended the patterns using like other tissue paper, and then you have this old tape, and it's so pretty. And it's probably like my favorite thing to find in these patterns. I think what I want to do with this piece specifically is what happens. All right. I usually like to kind of smooth it out, and then I like to double the pattern paper as a page, so I will just, but I'm not sure if I want to do that with this one. Like usually I'll double it, I'll fold it in half, and then I'll bind it like this so you can kind of make your choice in your journal. But for this one, I don't think I want to do that. I think I want to make sure that this is on the outside of a page. Okay. I would like to check the size on this. I want to make sure it's fully in the journal, so nothing sticks out, and then I will just turn that into a page. So that will look like this in the journal, and that'll be really awesome to have in there as extra texture, so I'll put that in that. And then yeah, I will do what I was just talking about that I like to do with the rest of this piece, where I will make crinkly. I love the crinkly. I'll bind it here, and then when you, like, whoever uses this journal can either cut it apart and have 2 separate pages there, or you can just use it the way it is. You seal it up like a pocket, but it does make it like hold better as I'm binding it. And it's tissue paper, and very vintage tissue paper, so it does need a little extra love along the way. All right, now I want to try to get at least 2 more page pieces for the other 2 journals. So I'm going to use this, see if I can use this as a stencil kind of for my page. Just making sure that it's about the same size. It sticks out a little here, but I know my journal covers are big enough, or I can cut or fold that later. I find that it can get really frustrating, very quickly if you try to like use a paper trimmer on tissue paper. You can use scissors, but I find gently tearing it to just work really well in my experience. Okay, so I have 1 and 2. All right, perfect. And then I will be using this tissue paper for so many other things, embellishments. I'll be making ruffles. So you'll see as we go what I will be doing with that. So I have those in there. And then, and I'm dropping stuff again. So 1 second. Just grab that. Okay. And then I have more tissue paper. And this one actually has another extension. More tissue. This pattern had a lot of pieces to it, which is fun. But then I have to figure out what to do with all those pieces. Not that that's like a problem. It's just a unique challenge. So each pattern will have its own unique set of pieces, because all these patterns in my kits are vintage, and yeah, so they all come with different pieces and different amounts of things in them. If you are following along and you have gotten one of my kits, please feel free to tag me on Instagram or YouTube, or use the hashtag or all of the above, so that I can see what you're doing, because I had a lot of fun putting these kits together. Of course, I'm like talking while making a ton of noise, so I'm sorry about that. I had a lot of fun putting these kits together, and I would love to see what more people are doing with them, not just the people that are involved in my challenge, but like everybody. It's really fun to like curate and put all the time and energy into creating something, and then to see what people actually do with it. That's like, I really would like to see what people are actually doing with these kits. So yeah, please, if you have grabbed yourself a kit, let me know. Leave a comment, tag me, let me know what you're doing with it so that I can follow along. If you have a YouTube or an Instagram, I'd like to follow you and see what you're doing with your kit. Please. Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out what to do with this piece, and I think I want to include it as a page, but I'm not sure if I want to reinforce it. But I think I might just fold it in half and use it as like a small bit page in this journal. It'll be very small compared to the other pages, but I think that'll be okay. I think it'll look cute. So I have some smaller pieces here and some more pattern. And I think I want to attach some of these pieces to each other in some fun ways. Like I like the inside of this envelope, but it does have sticky on it. So I could put these two pieces together to be a page. So I think I'm just going to go for it because I like that idea. I had to put all my stuff away to do... So I'm packing for a retreat because my birthday's... Well, by the time this video comes out, it'll probably be over. But my birthday's at the beginning of March. So I'm packing for a retreat. So I'm like missing all my things, like my glue and my scissors and everything, because it's all... I'm packing it all. Okay, so I'm going to just glue this whole envelope flap to this card, and that will become a page. So I'm going to do it by gluing it to the blank side of this card, and all the kits had one of these cards. So and an envelope, but all the envelopes were different, so you might not have one that's purple, but you'll have one that's about the same size. It might just be a different color or something. Okay, I'm gonna call that good. The purple inside would probably go well with this journal. I'm gonna tuck that in there. Now these book pages are from completely random books. So I'm hoping to use them in collage. I don't really want them to be kind of readable because I don't really know what they say. But I do have these two pieces here. I don't often hinge pages into my journals. It's just not something I really do. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold each of these and just put one of each of these into each journal. Just that one in there. Just to add some... I like different size pages. I like different length pages. I like, as long as they fit in the journal and I have a big variety, I do not have a problem mixing sizes. I quite enjoy mixing sizes. All right, and then I'll slip this one into here. So that's all the pages, and I will have to trim a few. That's all the pages that came with the kit, I think. If you grabbed the printable, which I'm not actually going to use because I want to show that you don't need printables, but also because I have so much scrapbook paper. So I'm going to grab some scrapbook paper and some plain colored paper that I have, and I'm going to use that to round out these journals. So I'm going to go get that, and then I'll be right back.